At the beginning of the story, we meet a long-haired, bearded prisoner named Boyka. Boyka is no ordinary inmate. He was once the most feared fighter in the underground boxing world and had won multiple championship titles. At the peak of his career, no opponent could stand against him. But now, his life has completely changed, and he works as a prison cleaner. During his last underground fight, Boyka suffered a serious leg injury. Because of that injury, he lost the match and his reputation inside the prison fell apart. Since then, no one has respected him the way they once did. From where he works, Boyka can still hear the cheers and excitement from the prison fights. However, his injured leg prevents him from stepping back into the ring. There was a time when Boyka was the undisputed king of this prison. Now everyone has forgotten him. Instead, the prisoners admire a new champion named Saikob. Saikob is a ruthless fighter who destroys every opponent standing in his way. We are also introduced to Gaga, the man who organizes the prison's underground fights and has made a fortune from them over the years. In the past, Boyka fought under Gaga's management, but after Boyka's injury, Saikob became Gaga's top fighter. Once the fight ends, Gaga notices Boyka while leaving the arena. Seeing Boyka's miserable condition, he feels sorry for him. Gaga hands some money to one of his men and tells him to give it to Boyka. When the man offers the money, Boyka refuses to accept it. Watching this, Gaga realizes that Boyka is struggling with the life he has been forced to live after losing everything. Despite everything, Gaga still respects him. So Gaga personally approaches Boyka and says, "You fought many matches for me, and I earned a lot because of you. Please accept this money." Boyka refuses once again and replies, "If you really want to help me, arrange a fight between me and your best fighter, Saikob." Hearing this, Gaga laughs music and says, "Your liege is badly damaged. You're not in any condition to fight. I don't want to watch you die in the ring." Those words deeply hurt Boyka. The man who once ruled the prison is now being treated like someone helpless. Unable to accept this reality, Boyka begins training every single day. He pushes himself through painful workouts to make his injured leg strong again. After weeks of relentless training, his leg recovers. He cuts his long hair, shaves his beard, and brings back his old fighting look. At the same time, Saikob enters another match. Before the fight begins, an announcer reveals that the winner will qualify for an international prison fighting tournament. Champions from several prisons around the world will compete. The ultimate winner will have all criminal charges cleared and earn their freedom. The match begins. As expected, Saikob defeats his opponent with ease and celebrates his victory. Just then, Boyka appears from behind and splashes water on him. He challenges Saikob by saying that if he is a real fighter, he should face him in the ring. Saikob is instantly enraged and accepts the challenge. Boyka has been waiting for this moment. He wants to reclaim the respect he once had, because everyone in the prison has forgotten who he really is. Today, he wants to prove that he has returned stronger than ever. However, the prison warden does not approve of the fight. The guards immediately stop Boyka, but after witnessing Boyka's determination, permission for the match is finally granted. The fight between Boyka and Saikob begins. Saikob launches aggressive attacks from the start, but Boyka blocks every move with perfect timing. Soon, Saikob realizes he cannot keep up with Boyka's skills. In the end, Boyka defeats him. Everyone in the prison is left stunned. They finally realize that Boyka's fighting spirit has never disappeared. Impressed by his performance, Gaga selects Boyka instead of Saikob to represent the prison in the international tournament. To compete, Boyka must first be transferred to another prison where the tournament will be held. The very next day, he arrives at the new prison. As he enters, he notices fighters from different countries gathered there. These are some of the toughest and most dangerous fighters in the world. Each of them dreams of winning because the champion will earn freedom. All criminal records cleared. Among them is a fighter named Turbo. While standing with the prison warden, Turbo behaves disrespectfully. The warden, known for his strict discipline, orders a guard to strike Turbo's leg with a baton. Turbo immediately falls to the ground. The warden then warns all the fighters that anyone who breaks the prison rules will face severe punishment. After the briefing, the fighters are taken to the massive arena where the tournament will take place. The enormous fighting ring makes it clear that this is no ordinary competition. A huge audience is expected to witness the event. Finally, all the fighters are escorted to their prison cells to prepare for the tournament. The next morning, the prison warden gathers all the fighters and announces that they will get only 1 hour each day for training. The rest of their time will be spent doing hard labor. Hearing this, the fighters are shocked. They protest, saying that 1 hour of practice is not enough to prepare for such an important tournament. The warden ignores their complaints and coldly replies, "If 1 hour is enough for you to prepare, then train. Otherwise, you'll be sent back to your prison." Afraid of losing their chance at freedom, the fighters have no choice but to accept the rules. Soon, they are taken to a mining site where they are forced to break huge rocks. Although exhausted, they continue working. During the job, Boyka and Turbo get into a heated argument. The situation quickly turns into a fight. Before either of them can do any serious damage, the guards rush in and stop them. At the same time, they notice another fighter named Dollar. The guards don't ask him to work at all. Seeing him receive special treatment makes the other fighters angry. However, they are powerless and continue their work in silence. By evening, the guards load everyone into a vehicle and take them back to the prison. They are finally allowed their single hour of training. Later, the warden secretly meets Dollar and hands him a box containing performance-enhancing drugs. These substances are meant to increase his strength and stamina, giving him a major advantage in the tournament. Finally, the day of the tournament arrives. People from around the world begin placing bets on their favorite fighters. The first match features a skilled fighter named Silva. Silva dominates the fight with his impressive techniques and defeats his opponent without much trouble. With that victory, Silva advances to the semifinals. The second match belongs to Turbo. From the very beginning, Turbo displays incredible speed and precision. His opponent barely gets a chance to fight back. Turbo wins the match convincingly and also secures a place in the semifinals. Next, Boyka steps into the ring to face a respected French fighter named Dubois. As soon as the match starts, Dubois launches an aggressive attack. Boyka calmly avoids every strike and waits for the perfect opportunity. After a long and intense battle, Boyka notices that his opponent is running out of energy. He immediately takes control of the fight and defeats Dubois, earning his spot in the semifinals. Back at Boyka's old prison, his former friends watch the match with excitement. They are thrilled to see Boyka proving himself once again. The final quarterfinal match belongs to Dollar. Before entering the ring, Dollar uses the performance-enhancing drugs provided by the warden. With his enhanced strength, he completely overwhelms his opponent. Dollar wins the fight with ease and advances to the semifinals. After the matches, the defeated fighters believe they will simply be sent back to their respective prisons. But the truth is far more horrifying. The warden secretly orders his guards to eliminate them. The guards load the 4 defeated fighters into a van and drive them to a remote location. There they line them up and execute all of them. The following day, Boyka and Turbo are forced to work together at the mining site. Their legs are chained together, making the work even more difficult. Since they already dislike each other, another argument quickly breaks out. Soon they start fighting once again. The guards catch them and immediately stop the fight. As punishment for breaking the prison rules, Boyka and Turbo are thrown into a dark underground cell. They are even denied their daily hour of training. While sitting in the cell, both men finally realize they made a mistake. They begin talking calmly instead of arguing. They come to the conclusion that the warden wants them to fight each other so they become weaker before facing Dollar. They decide that from now on they should stop fighting each other and focus on preparing for their real opponent. The next day, Gaga and Turbo's manager arrive at the prison to meet them. Boyka and Turbo explain how they are being treated. They reveal that instead of training properly, they are forced to break rocks every day. As professional fighters, they should be preparing for the tournament rather than doing exhausting labor. Hearing this, Gaga and Turbo's manager become furious. They immediately go to the warden's office to demand an explanation. The warden introduces them to a powerful crime boss named Rezo. Rezo is the man controlling the entire international fighting tournament. His personal fighter is none other than Dollar. That is why Dollar receives special treatment while everyone else is pushed to their limits. Gaga questions Rezo about the unfair treatment of the other fighters. Rezo openly admits that everything is happening according to his plan. He reveals that he ordered the warden to wear down all the other competitors with hard labor. His goal is to make sure Dollar reaches the final with a huge advantage. Rezo confidently declares that the tournament's winner has already been decided. According to him, Dollar is destined to become the champion. He even tells Gaga and Turbo's manager that they should place their bets on Dollar because, in his eyes, no one else has a chance of winning. Rezo smiles and says, "If you want to make even more money, there's still time." He tells both managers to place all of their bets on Dollar because he is certain that Dollar will become the champion. Gaga then asks, "What about our fighters?" Rezo coldly replies, "Forget about your fighters and think about the fortune you're about to make." Blinded by greed, both managers choose money over loyalty. They abandon their fighters and secretly join Rezo's side. Meanwhile, Boyka and Turbo slowly become close friends. As they spend more time together, they realize the prison is intentionally limiting their training. They understand that if they were allowed to practice properly, they would have a real chance of defeating Dollar. Because of this, they come up with a new plan. Whenever they are sent to the mining site, they secretly use the heavy rocks as training equipment. They lift stones, build their strength, and practice together whenever they get the chance. During one of these training sessions, Boyka's injured knee starts hurting again. Turbo notices his pain and gives him some medicinal herbs. He tells Boyka to apply them to his knee so it can recover faster. Boyka is grateful for the help. Their friendship continues to grow stronger. They eat together, work together, and support each other through the harsh prison routine. One day, Boyka notices a tattoo on Turbo's chest. Curious, he asks what it represents. Turbo explains that the tattoo carries the names of his wife and daughter. He says he has spent many years in prison. His daughter still has no idea that her father is locked behind bars. Whenever she asks about him, his wife tells her that he has gone to another country for work and will return someday. Hearing this heartbreaking story, Boyka feels deeply sorry for Turbo. Turbo then asks Boyka how he ended up in prison and became a fighter. Boyka replies, "I was born to fight." He says fighting is the only thing he truly knows. He believes he is the best fighter in the world and wants everyone to recognize his abilities. Soon, the day of the semifinal arrives. Boyka is matched against Silva. Silva is known for his incredible speed, agility, and flexibility. Both fighters know that the winner will earn a place in the final. The match begins. Silva attacks first with lightning-fast combinations. His unusual fighting style makes him extremely difficult to predict. Every time Boyka launches an attack, Silva uses his flexibility to escape or defend himself. As the fight continues, Boyka's injured knee begins hurting again. Dollar, watching from above, notices Boyka struggling. For a while, Boyka finds it difficult to figure out Silva's fighting style. However, Boyka's greatest strength is his ability to study his opponent. Once he understands Silva's movements, he changes his strategy. He starts landing powerful counters that gradually wear Silva down. Even after taking several heavy blows, Silva refuses to surrender. He continues fighting with incredible determination. But in the end, Boyka's superior technique proves too much. He defeats Silva and secures his place in the final. The prisoners cheer loudly as Boyka advances to the championship match. Meanwhile, Rizzo becomes increasingly worried. Despite every obstacle placed in Boyka's path, he has still reached the final. The remaining semi-final is between Turbo and Dollar. Rizzo fears that Turbo could also defeat Dollar. To prevent that from happening, he comes up with another plan. He orders the prison warden to make sure Turbo cannot compete at full strength. Following Rizzo's instructions, the warden goes straight to Turbo's cell. The guards storm inside and brutally beat Turbo. They leave him, badly injured, before walking away. Turbo is now in terrible condition and can barely stand. A little later, Boyka visits him. Seeing his friend lying on a stretcher, Boyka immediately realizes that this attack was planned to stop Turbo from facing Dollar. Even in his injured condition, Turbo insists that he will still fight. Music. Boyka tries to convince him that he has no chance of winning while seriously hurt, but refuses to give up. After leaving Turbo, Boyka returns to his training. Soon, Dollar approaches him with a mocking smile. He insults Boyka by reminding him that he once worked as a prison cleaner. Dollar arrogantly claims that someone who cleaned prison floors could never defeat him. Boyka controls his anger and calmly replies, "We'll find out the truth inside the ring." The following morning, the prisoners are once again forced to work at the mining site. Boyka notices that Turbo is still suffering from his injuries. During their conversation, Boyka learns that Turbo once served in the military. After hearing this, Boyka tells him that with his training and experience, he has a chance to escape. He warns Turbo that if he stays, the people running the tournament will eventually kill him. However, Turbo refuses to run away and chooses to face whatever lies ahead. Turbo says, "I'm not going to run away. I believe I can still defeat Dollar even in this condition. And even if I lose, they'll simply send me back to prison." Hearing this, another prisoner nearby interrupts him. He says, "Do you even know what really happens here? The fighters who lose aren't sent back to prison. They're taken away under that excuse and secretly executed." Hearing this shocking truth, Turbo is horrified. He immediately thinks about his wife and daughter who are waiting for him. Realizing he may never see them again, Turbo finally agrees to escape. Boyka grabs a hammer and tries to break the chain connecting them. Before he can finish, the guards notice what is happening and rush toward them. Boyka and Turbo fight back with everything they have. After overpowering several guards, Boyka finds the key to their chains. He unlocks Turbo's shackles and tells him to run. Turbo escapes while Boyka stays behind to buy him more time. The remaining guards surround Boyka and brutally beat him until he loses consciousness. Music. When Boyka wakes up, he finds himself chained inside a prison cell. A few moments later, the prison warden arrives with Rizzo, tells Boyka that he has broken the prison rules by helping another prisoner escape. As punishment, Boyka will still have to face Dollar in the final. Hearing this, Boyka realizes that they will do everything possible to prevent him from winning. He asks to meet his manager, Gaga. A moment later, Gaga steps forward. Instead of supporting Boyka, Gaga admits that money is more important to him than loyalty. At that moment, Boyka understands that Gaga has also joined Rizzo's side. Originally, Dollar was supposed to fight Turbo in the semi-final, but since Turbo escaped, Dollar automatically advances to the final. Now, the championship match is set between Boyka and Dollar. News of the fight spreads everywhere. People around the world begin placing bets on the final. Most of the wealthy gamblers choose Dollar because they believe he is guaranteed to win. Originally, Dollar was supposed to fight Turbo in the semi-final, but since Turbo escaped, Dollar automatically advances to the final. Now, the championship match is set between Boyka and Dollar. News of the fight spreads everywhere. People around the world begin placing bets on the final. Most of the wealthy gamblers choose Dollar because they believe he is guaranteed to win. Finally, the championship match begins. Dollar immediately shows why he is considered the favorite. His speed, power, and aggressive fighting style surprise even Boyka. Thanks to his natural talent and the performance-enhancing drugs, Dollar appears almost unstoppable. He begins landing one powerful attack after another. Whenever Boyka tries to strike back, Dollar blocks or avoids the attacks with ease. As the fight continues, Boyka carefully studies Dollar's movements. Little by little, he starts understanding his opponent's fighting style. Soon, Boyka changes his strategy. He begins countering Dollar's attacks with perfect timing. The momentum slowly shifts in Boyka's favor. Realizing this, Dollar targets Boyka's injured knee. He repeatedly attacks the weak spot, causing Boyka intense pain. The injury makes it difficult for Boyka to fight at his usual level. Dollar takes advantage of the situation and lands several heavy blows. Finally, he delivers a powerful kick that sends Boyka crashing out of the ring. The crowd believes the fight is over. The referee starts the count. If Boyka cannot return before the count reaches 10, the match will end. Lying outside the ring, Boyka remembers the days when he worked as a prison cleaner. He remembers how everyone laughed at him and treated him with disrespect. Those memories give him the strength to stand again. Determined not to lose, Boyka wraps a cleaning cloth around his injured leg for support. Ignoring the pain, he climbs back into the ring. Everyone in the arena is stunned. Dollar charges toward him once again. This time, Boyka reveals a completely different fighting approach. He unleashes a series of precise and powerful attacks. Dollar struggles to defend himself. The entire prison erupts as the inmates begin chanting Boyka's name. Inspired by their support, Boyka attacks with even greater determination. His punches become so fast that Dollar can barely react. In a desperate attempt to turn the fight around, Dollar throws one final powerful kick, but the move backfires. He loses his balance and crashes to the ground. The referee declares Boyka the winner. The arena explodes with cheers as Boyka becomes the new champion. Meanwhile, Rizzo and his associates are left devastated after losing their gamble. Gaga had also bet on Dollar after trusting Rizzo's promises. Furious over the betrayal, Turbo's manager storms into the warden's office with a gun. Just then, Rizzo enters the room. Without hesitation, Turbo's manager shoots Rizzo. Moments later, the warden fires back and kills Turbo's manager. In the end, both men lose their lives. As for Boyka, his victory earns him the greatest reward of all. According to the tournament's rules, his criminal record is cleared and he is finally released from prison as a free man. Just when Boyka believes he has finally earned his freedom, the prison warden approaches him. The warden says, "You may have won the tournament, but I can't release you," he reminds Boyka that he helped Turbo escape, and since Turbo is still missing, Boyka must be sent back to his old prison. Boyka calmly replies, "It doesn't matter to me. I'm ready to return to prison." Soon, the guards place Boyka inside a transport van. However, instead of taking him back to prison, they begin brutally attacking him. Just when it seems all hope is lost, Turbo suddenly appears. He fights off the attackers and rescues Boyka. The two friends quickly escape together. Turbo then takes Boyka to meet Gaga. There, the full truth is finally revealed. Gaga explains that he always believed Boyka was the strongest fighter in the tournament. He says Boyka becomes even more dangerous whenever he fights with determination. Because of that confidence, Gaga secretly ignored Rizzo's instructions. Instead of betting on Dollar, he placed all of his money on Boyka. He even doubled his bet. As a result, Boyka's victory earned Gaga a huge fortune. Wanting to reward him, Gaga hands Boyka a suitcase full of money. He then stops the car and tells Boyka that he is finally free to start a new life. Before Boyka leaves, Turbo walks over and gives him a heartfelt hug. He thanks Boyka for saving his life. Turbo then smiles and says that one day they should meet again in the ring to find out who the better fighter truly is. With that, Turbo gets back into the car and leaves with Gaga. Boyka watches them drive away before picking up the suitcase. With a smile on his face, he begins walking toward a new chapter in his life. And with that, the story comes to an end.